Singapore is a city-state that has been garnering a lot of attention in recent years for its impressive architecture and design. In fact, many people consider Singaporean design to be almost perfect. So, what exactly makes Singaporean design so exceptional? This is Singapore's metro system. It serves 2.1 million passengers per day and stretches 200 kilometers. And this is LA's metro system. It serves 178,000 passengers per day and is 157 kilometers long. It doesn't make sense how two places with similar population sizes have such different ridership on their metro systems. Well, it has to do with Singapore's amazing design and incredible public transport. You see, while these two systems are roughly the same length, train frequency is very different. Singapore's metro trains come every 2 to 3 minutes during rush hour, and every 5 to 7 minutes at off-peak times. In LA, it's a different story. Trains come every 5 to 10 minutes depending on the time, which isn't great. But that's just because people aren't using them. Why are so many people using Singapore's metro system and not LA's? Well, this is where we get into the ingenious design of Singapore's metro. To show you what I mean, here is the map of Singapore's metro system overlaid on a map of the population density of the city. As you can see, the metro system serves all the key areas, but most importantly, has a ring that goes through nearly every high population area. This serves people who want to go from one side of the city to another, rather than having to go through the city center. This isn't the case with LA's metro system, as you can see from this map, where I've done the same thing overlaying the metro system on top of a population density map. Clearly, this system is good at moving people to and from the city center, but not from one edge of the city to another. This could very well be the explanation for the much lower ridership of the LA Metro. Just to highlight how much further ahead Singapore is than LA, their official master plan states that they will install imaging sensors and laser scanners on trains to monitor track conditions in real time. This will allow them to know exactly when repairs are necessary, avoiding unnecessarily long delays and downtimes. Look at this map. Singapore is an island located between Malaysia and Indonesia. It is home to more than 5 million people in an area of only 719 square kilometers. To put that in perspective, it's half the size of Los Angeles, but with 1.7 million more people. This just goes to show that Singapore has designed its infrastructure to make the most of its small footprint, making it one of the best designed cities in the world. From its transportation system to its public spaces, Singapore's design is almost perfect, making it one of the most convenient places to live in the world. One of the most noticeable features of Singapore's design is its transportation system. The island nation has a well-developed network of trains, buses, and taxis that make it easy for residents and tourists to get around. In particular, the MRT, Mass Rapid Transit System, is a marvel of modern engineering. The trains are fast, efficient, and comfortable, and the stations are clean and well-maintained. But what really sets Singapore's transportation system apart is the convenience it offers. For example, at many MRT stations, you can find a range of shops and restaurants right at the entrance. This means that you can grab a quick bite to eat or buy anything you need before hopping on the train. And if you're in a hurry, you can even find vending machines that sell hot coffee in a can. This level of convenience is unheard of in many other cities around the world. But it's not just the transportation system that makes Singapore's design so perfect. The city-state has also invested heavily in creating public spaces that are welcoming and functional. For example, the Gardens by the Bay is a sprawling park that features beautiful gardens, impressive sculptures, and even a futuristic greenhouse. The park is not only a great place to relax and enjoy nature, but it also serves as a venue for concerts, events, and festivals. Singapore really has a knack for ambitious construction projects. One of those is the country's Changi Airport, which is regularly rated as the best in the world. With its eye-catching jewel fountain and gardens, the airport is even said to double in size by around 2035 with the addition of Terminal 5, designed for an additional 50 million passengers per year. It's truly astonishing, but what's most amazing is that the airport was built on land that used to be underwater, which leads us to the most fascinating aspect of Singapore, if you ask me. Since colonial times, Singapore has added over 14,000 hectares of land through land reclamation, adding nearly 25% more land than before the British arrival in 1819. Just look at this map to see the land added so far and what may be added in the future. Singapore actually has a larger percentage of land reclaimed from the sea than the Netherlands, which is quite surprising. However, no country is perfect, and land reclamation has come at a cost to the environment. For example, The mangrove forests, which used to cover an area of 75 square kilometers in 1819, have now dwindled to just 6.6 square kilometers today. This is sad, because mangrove trees are unique in their ability to survive in salt water, absorb large amounts of carbon, and protect the coast from storms, flooding, and erosion. Given that most of Singapore is less than 15 meters above sea level, it is no surprise that the government has attempted to replant some mangrove forests. Unfortunately, Singapore's rapid and continued development has come at other environmental costs. For instance, only 2 square kilometers of the once 400 square kilometers of tropical forests remain. What is even more concerning is that some of these remaining forests could be threatened by future rail projects. Since independence in 1965, Singapore has made an effort to reverse environmental degradation. From the beginning, one major goal was to clean up the city's polluted rivers to reduce its reliance on imported water in case tensions flared up with Malaysia. They have built reservoirs to catch rainwater, and they now collect their water from 4 different sources: imported water from Malaysia, rainwater catchment, desalination, and what it calls new water, which is just a fancy term for treated wastewater. The reservoirs include Marina Bay, which alone can provide for 10% of the city's water needs. But the city's focus on the environment goes beyond just water. In 1967, Singapore's first Prime Minister announced his vision for a garden city. At first, this mostly involved planting trees, but the idea has expanded over time. Today, the city boasts 7,800 hectares of green space, including 4 nature reserves. Since 2009, developers have been required to replace the land they take up with green spaces. This requirement has led to green buildings across the city, like the 340-meter-long Sky Park on top of Marina Bay Sands. The city's Skyrise Greenery project aims to add 200 hectares of green walls and roofs to buildings in the city by 2030. Another example of Singapore's excellent design can be seen in its housing estates. The government has made a concerted effort to create public housing that is both affordable and livable. The HDB, Housing and Development Board flats, are designed with the needs of residents in mind, with features such as ample storage space, efficient layouts, and communal areas for socializing. Of course, no design is perfect, and Singapore is no exception. There are still issues with overcrowding, traffic, and air pollution. However, it's clear that Singapore has made a concerted effort to create a city that is both functional and beautiful. The result is a place where residents and visitors alike can enjoy a high quality of life. In conclusion, Singapore's design is almost perfect because it prioritizes convenience, functionality, and aesthetics. The transportation system is a shining example of this, with its efficient trains, clean stations, and range of amenities. The city-state's public spaces and housing estates are also well designed and serve the needs of residents. While there is always room for improvement, it's clear that Singapore has set a high bar for urban design that other cities should strive to emulate.